where you can get all of your internet marketing questions answered.
Hello, good evening, everybody, or good morning if you're like me down here in Australia. Time zone just changed again, so we're having now exactly lunchtime, while you guys in the US have it right now 9 p.m. if I see this right. And double checking that I got this right. Every time they change the daylight savings time, it's gonna mess me up. No, but it looks like Eastern 9 p.m. Yep, that's good, very good. Okay, so let's get started. Today's topic, like I announced in that email, is kind of like I want to know from you, obviously, the questions that you have in your own online business that you're running, or that you're trying to run maybe. No matter if you're brand new and haven't started even, or if you're already experienced and have your own business up already, and you're like a website up and running and just looking for ways to maybe monetize it more, or for to, get more out of your business, grow it bigger than it is right now. Just let me know your questions that you have, and I'll try my utmost best to answer your questions. Will I always get the right answer? Maybe not, but I'll try. I'll try my best. Okay, let me just check quickly that we're streaming properly here on the side. Just want to make sure that I'm not talking for an hour and then notice there's no recording. Don't want that, right? Well, I don't want that. Let's have a look. Yeah, it looks like we're live. Very good. Let me just pause myself so I don't hear myself as an echo over there. Again, by the way, first a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. Number one thing that I want you to do is not only to learn from what I'm sharing here, and I'm trying to mix it up a little bit, give you some tips, some things to avoid, maybe things to watch out, some pitfalls that me or others fell into that I want you to avoid in your own online business. But also I want to know what is it specifically in your own business that you need help with. Like I mentioned in the beginning. It's not just about me rambling down a couple of things here, and I took a few notes here that I wanted to cover at least, and I see there are some questions already in the text chat, which is great. That's what I'm always looking for your guys' participation. That's going to make it just so much better for everybody here. And even if you watch the recording, by the way, if you got a question, put it in the text chat underneath there. I'll see it by the time next time. These questions that I'm seeing here right now, they were left over the last couple of days. I see one was left on October 7th. That was just yesterday, I believe. Yeah, that was yesterday. And then September 30th. Actually, today, your time in the US, and for me in Australia, it's yesterday. We have already the 8th down here. But anyway, so leave the questions there, even if you're watching the recordings, and I'll try my best to answer them, or at least give you some pointers, where to start, and where to what to look for. Okay, let's start first now with the essentials that we all need in internet marketing, and how you can save on those. And by the way, excuse my voice a little bit. I'm a little bit raspy with my voice here. I don't know, it just started this morning. Perfectly on time, of course, for the Marketing Meetup. So the essentials, what is it that we all need if we want to build an online business? And actually, let me back up a little bit of that. I mean, if I say building an online business, is it really what you want? Some people might say like, well, I don't really want to build an online business. I just want to make some extra cash. I need money, right? I need to pay the bills. I need to pay the rent, the mortgage, whatever it is, right? And internet marketing is just one of those things that was pointed out to you that can help you, make some extra money. Maybe you have a job right now, maybe you do the 9 to 5 right now, and you just need an extra $500 or whatever, so a couple of $100 or whatever you want, or you may be even looking for the way to grow it past that point where you then maybe replace your existing job and stuff like that. So no matter what it is, if you want to, go for the full-time job, if you replace the full-time job, or if you want to make a job, make yourself a job, basically. Then be your own boss, right? That's the other thing. Then you're looking maybe into the marketing, wondering, how do I get there, and what are those essentials that you need? Now, obviously, if you ask 3 different people, you might get 5 different or 10 different opinions, right, on that topic. But one thing that's pretty common is one popular opinion about it is that in the end, to really make good money with internet marketing is you will need eventually down the track your own products that you can sell, products or services. Something that the other guys or the other people online are looking for to solve their own problems, like their own, to solve their own or fill their own needs and desires, right? If they have a certain issue with something, they're looking for a solution to that. If you can provide that solution, that's something that will sell, right? So if you're, looking for what can I sell or what should I offer, think about first thing, what are you good at? What can you offer? Like, let's say, for example, for me, one easy solution always to do is like, if I'm looking for extra money, then I could say like, okay, I'm looking for helping others with their programming. I'm good with programming, for example, so I could offer that to other people. Now, you might not be good with programming, which is totally fine. Maybe you're like the artist type, you can draw really good drawings, or you're really good with a pen and paper or with Photoshop or something like that, right? So you could offer that as a service to somebody else, like graphic design. Let's say, for example, speaking about internet marketing, if you, for example, can create banner images for other people, advertising banners, or their squeeze page design, etc. And we just click button here. Pop, there we go. And yeah, so that kind of thing you want to offer. Or on the other hand, if you don't want to trade your time for money, which is of course always a little bit, trading one job for another job, basically, right? Your full-time job against now your own online business shop where you're working 9 to 5 or longer, probably. No, but if you want to go to the point where you free up your time, then you're probably looking for something where you create a product one time and then you can sell it over and over. Speaking, for example, of software products or of information products, right? Now, information product is pretty much anybody, I believe. Anybody could create one, if you're a little bit better in writing than me, for sure. I'm a little bit of a, let's say, language is not my first thing. It's more logic and programming that I'm going into math, that kind of stuff. I'm more a math guy. So, but for somebody who is into language and into writing, writing stories, writing reports, writing informational products, training, teaching products, maybe even, then these kind of things you can sell obviously online, and you create them once. You put your sweat into one of those things one time, and once it's created, you can sell it over and over and over again. I mean, as long as the content is relevant, right? I mean, obviously, if something changes and your content or your product is not relevant anymore, then obviously it becomes obsolete. You need to create a new product. But as long as it if it's an evergreen, for example, then can sell it pretty much for life and earn money for it from life. Now, obviously, the amount of money you can charge for something like that will be less than for like where you put your own time and effort into it. Like if you provide a service where you can maybe charge by the hour, or even at a flat rate, say, hey, I can get this job for you done for X dollars. No matter how long it takes you, roughly it takes you an hour, so you charge like for an hour, right? So that's obviously better. But I mean, if you want to free up your time, then having an information product that you can sell over and over and over again is great. Bad example for that would be a site like, for example, where you have a membership site like ViralURL.com, right? Where we need to create new information products every single month and make them rebrandable and everything. So it's ongoing work for us there. But on the other hand, the initial work, the most of the work was to create that site itself, to make it ready to the point where we can actually release it. The monthly ongoing work is a lot less. So where we were maybe working like half a year to get it to the point where we could launch the site, then now it's maybe days, 1 day a month. We're busy with creating the next product, and writing obviously takes a bit longer, but the implementation, the making it rebrandable, is a couple hours basically every month. So it's doable, right? I mean, you can even a site like this, ViralURL on the other side is a site where we provide a service. Basically, it could run on its own forever, but obviously for us, where our time comes in there is where we want to ongoingly, improve the service we're providing. We are monitoring certain things. We are obviously giving support and helping customers. So there's some ongoing work in there. But in the end, I mean, compared to the initial work setting it up, the ongoing work is not so bad. So a membership site is another thing if you want to free up your time, right? If you want to free up your time and earn money with less work, basically. So that's another thing to go into. But I'm getting totally ahead of myself here again, as usual. And I want to quickly also talk about these essentials again that you need for no matter which direction you want to go, no matter if you go membership site, information product, even video information. That's an information product, right? Written or video or software. Or if you want to go in the direction of providing a service, because even if you want to provide a service, you need to have a presence online to find those customers, unless, of course, you go door to door to door to door and do the offline marketing way, where we maybe, for example, approach other offline businesses to help them with creating their online presence, their web design, for example, right? That's something you could do completely offline. You walk from door to door to door, and then maybe you have one site that you created that you show them. But then even for those sites that you create for that you want to show them, you need these essentials that I'm gonna cover now. And those essentials are, number one, and some of you will say like, duh, I know that one like years ago, you will need a domain name, right? Then you will need web hosting to basically, that's where the location where your website is residing on a server in a data center somewhere. You have a web hosting account. And that can be anything from a very simple and cheap shared hosting account up to your own dedicated server, or even an array of servers that do the job for you, depending obviously on how much traffic you get, how much visitors, how much of a service you're providing, right? I mean, you might be fine with a cheap web hosting account, or shared web hosting account, or you need maybe a virtual private server, a VPS, or a dedicated server. That's kind of like the top of the line, right? And to give you an idea, when I started out many years ago, I mean, I started out in '96 actually, but I think, actually '96, that's when I got my first web hosting account also. And that was back then a simple shared web hosting account. Back then it was like $20 a month. Nowadays you can get it even cheaper. I mean, like $5 a month, etc. 5 or 10 or whatever it is. Just keep in mind that usually whatever you pay for, you get also quality-wise, also support-wise on those guys. So you probably don't want to get too cheap, but you don't really have to go really high. I mean, for 10, for 10, 15 bucks, you can get something really, really good already as a shared server, right? I mean, dedicated obviously gets a lot higher, and also VPS servers go higher from the price. But in the beginning, when you're starting out, when you don't even know how much traffic you're going to get, just get a shared web hosting account. Don't go dedicated right away. It's wasting your money, right? Even if you go to the point where you want to add another business to your existing business. Let's say you have an existing website running and now you need another one added to it. You could start again with another shared web hosting account. Obviously, at the point where you get to the point where you have already one dedicated server or one VPS server, the ones that can host multiple websites, right? Then you can just add your new ones always to the existing server, and you don't have to get a separate dedicated server for each business. So you can keep it relatively cheap with your web hosting. But actually, getting ahead of myself again, happens all the time. Web hosting is actually more like the second thing it needs. First thing obviously is a domain name. And domain name, the nice .coms that you see there, like, down here where you see, where's it here? There, @.com. That's one of those like example for a domain name. Still .com is the most popular one out there, but then also, of course, the one where you probably have the hardest time to find the particular thing that you're looking for. Let's say if you're looking for webhosting.com, gone for ages already, right? I mean, or even if you're looking for your own domain, and that's something I always recommend when you start out with, especially if you want to provide a service, getting your own name.com, you're branding yourself out there. Now, for example, I myself didn't get frankbauer.name because some photographer in New York City, I believe, got that name already before me, and uses that one. So if you're looking for my branded blog there, for example, where I'm branding myself or put my content out, it's not going to be frankbauer.name in my case. frankbauer.com in my case. I got frankbauer.name. .name is another domain extension that you can get. Then there's .org and .biz and .info and there's so many. Nowadays, actually, there is they just came out a couple months ago with all these new extensions that you can get. There's one of those domain registration places that I'm going to talk about in a bit. They're having like right now 179 or something like that, or 180 something different domain extensions that you could get. But even though there are so many different types, if you can get it, the .com is always the best. And then for SEO reasons, also .com, .info, I believe .org is good, but the problem is .org is basically a non-profit organization, so it's kind of misleading a little bit if you put a business on there, in my opinion. But then, if .info, for example, is okay, or .com, they'll both get. Another one that I liked that I got a long time ago, also in a case where I couldn't get the .com version of it for my More For You blog letter. So I got moreforyou.ws with GDI, and more on GDI, by the way, later on too, because that has something to do with the domain registration that I'm going to mention. But basically, .ws is another option. But if you for SEO reasons, .com, .info, .org, that kind of stuff. One thing that I would recommend to stay away from, and that's one of those pitfalls that I wanted to help with to avoid, is the .biz, B-I-Z. And the reason for that one is, number one, .biz domains often trigger spam filters if you email out. So if you send something out with .biz in the end, for some reason, don't ask me why, often those emails get caught in spam filters. They're looking at the .biz domain and business, right? Looking at it as spam. So I would recommend to avoid the .biz if you can for anything that you want to email out, for sure. I have one or two .biz out there, but that was before I knew about that. I got them before that. But I would recommend not to get .biz domains. If you can, get the .coms. If you can't, then go for it. .name, for example, if it's your own name, that's okay. Or .ws is good. Or again, .info if it's especially for blog. But the thing is, .com is what people easiest remember, so it's usually the best choice to get that. There's, by the way, another one is it's a short version, .cm. Kind of interesting. I got a couple of those because it's not yet. They're kind of expensive. They're like in the $90 range, I believe, per year for a domain registration. But the cool thing is they have a lot of short domains still available. So I got, for example, for us, the vu.cm, ViralURL, right? Or vib.cm or vh.cm for the different domains that we have, or for the different sites that we have. So that's kind of a cool thing, but it's a novelty thing, and it's just something to be aware of, right? Now, if you get domain names, one thing to avoid also that I wanted to point out is, and now some of you might say, oh, no, I'm using them. It's GoDaddy. Sorry, GoDaddy.com, right? And a lot of people use them simply because they advertise so much. And I believe they advertise, for example, on the Super Bowl, have their girly ads there on there to attract people to get their domain registration. And they're pretty cheap in the beginning, the first year when you start off with, but then they go up in the pricing. So they kind of have the baiting, the luring in pricing in the beginning, but then they go up. And the problem is with them, the reason why I say avoid them is we had one case, personally, our business partner of me had one case where a domain name was basically, basically hijacked by them. There was one spam complaint. They took the domain name and then they charged I believe $200 or something to unlock it again for us. So basically they took the domain that we registered and paid for, took it away, and then asked for $200 to release it again. Roughly, I think it was roughly $200 if I remember right. And that's business partner of mine. Other cases like Mike Filsane. I don't know if you heard of that guy, but he's pretty has been a while around on the internet. He had this issue also with GoDaddy where they basically hijacked the domain that he purchased from somebody else. That other person couldn't be reached right away. GoDaddy took it away, and then traffic went into Nirvana. They redirected the traffic somewhere else, and it took them a while to get it recovered. And actually, there's a whole domain out there. If you go to antigodaddy.com, let me put that in the text chat so you can see why. Just put this in. That one. Here we go. Did I spell that right? I think I did. if that's not the right URL, but I think it is. So that's www.ntgodaddy.com. If you can't get there for whatever reason, just go into Google and search for GoDaddy horror stories or GoDaddy trouble, and you find so much other examples why GoDaddy is a bit of a avoider. Don't go there. If you're currently with GoDaddy, I highly recommend to switch over to the domain registration service that I either used to use until now. The only reason I switched away from them, they were good. The only reason I switched away from them was price. I found a lot cheaper alternative, and that's one thing I want to mention now. Remember when I mentioned before with GDI that GDI is the company, Global Domains International, that sold or sells the .ws domains, or started originally. They were originally the first one that did, and then now I think you can get WS also with other domain registration services. But they're the ones that started them out. They basically changed it from I think Western Samoa, where it was originally standing for, to the website, WS for website, right? And so they got the rights to sell those .ws domains, and they turned it into a network marketing company where they sell them for, including web hosting, for $10 a month. And then they pay out like 50% on like 5 tiers of commissions basically out there, plus bonuses for referring people and stuff like this. So I've been with GDI personally since 2004. And so it's like 10 years now, a little bit over 10 years now. And they have been actually around since 1999. So they've been in business quite long. And they came out now, this is, by the way, not about GDI right now. They came out with the domain cost club recently. And basically what they do there now is that they basically take the domains from .coms and, like I said, like 170 or 180 different domain extensions, and sell them at the cost. Basically what they pay for the domains, or what it costs them to provide those domains, that's the price they're giving out. So they don't make a profit on the domains themselves, like GoDaddy would do, or Namecheap. That's the one that I used to use and that I otherwise would recommend. That like they charge, they need to make a profit on the domain names, since that's all they charge for, right? Domain names and the hosting and stuff like this is what they're selling. But with the domain cost club, what they do differently there is basically that they give you the domains at cost. For example, a .com domain, if you get that at Namecheap.com, that's the other place that I would recommend. And let me just put the link in there, by the way, to get that out of the way. Let's see. That's the one that I used here until recently, and I still have some stuff in there, like some. I think I put an extra dot in there. Let me just quickly fix that up. Let me just quickly fix up that link. There's an extra dot in there that doesn't belong there. Silly me. Here we go. There we go. And then the domain club that I'm talking about at this address, the domain cost club. Now that out of the way, again, if you don't see the URLs, I'll put them up. And if you watch this as a recording, I'll put them under the YouTube recording. You can see them also in the description on Google Plus. Sorry, brain fart. It was like, what did I want to say? But yeah, so those are the ones that I'm using right now. I mean, I'm switching basically all my .coms right now over to the domain club from Namecheap. But for certain other domain extensions that the domain club doesn't do yet, they're gonna add a lot of over the next couple of months. But those that they don't do yet, I left them obviously with Namecheap there. So with Namecheap, just to give you an example, what you pay for a domain name there. And by the way, another tip. With those regular domain registrations, always look for a coupon code out there when you register. With the initial registration, at least, over the transfer, they often allow you to put in a coupon code and then get a little bit of a discount. For example, with Namecheap.com domain, after the coupon code discount, you can get the initial registration or transfer for $9.66 for the first year. And then for each additional year after that, it's going to be, I believe, $10.69 per year, plus ICANN fees, of course. It's always on top. Those 18 cents or something, that the ICANN fees that they charge on top. But so between $6.99 and 1069 was what you pay. And by the way, business partner the other side the other day said, oh, but can't you just renew also for the discount? Use a coupon code for the renewal. And I actually checked into that with Namecheap there, and the discount, the coupon codes that you find out there are always just for the initial sign up for the very first year. Afterwards, they don't work anymore. They don't accept them for the additional years, for the year 2, year 3, and so on, right? So so that's the pricing there. And there's some out there. I've seen some all the way down to like the first year where they give it away for $5. I've seen one of them. I've never heard of them before, so I probably would stay away from them. But what they're doing obviously is the first year is to bait you in, and then the second year goes up. And usually they're like, then often second year they're really expensive, so they kind of compensate that way. They get the money on the long run, not the front end. They call that front end. Not break even, but it's basically they're losing on the front end, and then they making their money on the back end, or they know how many people they can sell additional services to besides the domain name, so they know that they can lure them. If they lure them in with $5 or whatever the front is, then they can get them later on with money, that they pay either on the long run for the domain name or for additional service that they're selling them to them. So again, now with the domain club, for example, the .com domains, they sell for $8.24 a year, first year, second year, forever. So same pricing, no different pricing on sign up and later more and stuff like this, but just the same low pricing year for year. So in my particular case, when the domain cost club came out and they went into this pre-launch kind of like early bird starter thing, they had this where they only offered it for $499. I'm like, oh my gosh, $499. But thinking about it, that was $490 that they charged one time for a lifetime membership with them. So, and plus with my 64plus.com domains, I did the math quickly, and it actually saves me like about almost $170 a year just in reduced domain costs. And I just like their service, and I know that the parent company, GDI, that came out with this new service, they paid me over the last 10 years every month checks for the other business. And for my $10 a month .ws domain that I paid them, in the end, I made back was basically over 10 years. What's that? $1,200 that I paid them, right? So $500 in relation to $1,200 sounded actually pretty good to me then. And this is going to be for life, and I know they're going to stick around. Their business, they're reliable. They have been around for a long time already. So what I said, like, what the heck? It's biting the sour apple. Do that one-time expense, and then in the range of actually 3 years, I would earn that money back just by the savings I have. And plus, I plan to be around longer than 3 years in my online business. To be honest, I've been around for a long time already, and I plan to be around a much longer. So I was like, hey, this is like a no-brainer for me. Plus, like I said, usually their service is really good, so I wouldn't mind, recommending them, which I'm doing now, right? I mean, hey, by the way, do not sign up if you don't see the benefit in it. I tell you. And when I give you links that I give out are usually, disclaimer, affiliate links. Obviously, I'm doing the Marketing Meetup for free, so get my paid, get my time paid maybe by using an affiliate link here and there. So I hope you understand and you don't mind about that. But anyway, so the domain club was $4.99 in the beginning. Now, since then, they went out of the early bird stage, and they also now offer an annual pricing, which is a lot lower. On the other hand, I personally look at it long term, so they still offer also the lifetime. I think the charter membership still. I'm not sure how much longer they will offer them, but maybe they keep them forever. I hope so, at least. It makes sense, because some people look at it and say, hey, I can pay, in this case, $99 a year for a membership, or I pay $4.99 one time and I'm done with it for life. And I looked at it like, no-brainer, right? especially if you look. I mean, I could have went with the $99 a month membership and say, well, it saves me almost 170, 169 something. So I'm a plus, right? And I did the math, by the way. So if you're looking at this, and if you have already right now at least 40 .com domains, or a combination of .com and other domains that they support, and again, you can look at the link, all the domain extension that they already supporting, like I said, .com, .info, I think .biz they support already. Again, I would stay away from the .biz, I wouldn't use that. .ws, obviously their own. And by the way, I looked at that. .ws also couple bucks cheaper than you could get them with other domain registration services, even with their own, GDI, even though you can't really compare them because GDI is, a domain name plus hosting. And we're talking about only domain names. By the way, that's another tip I wanted to give, something to avoid in general. Usually, I would recommend to stay away from those combination deals. When you sign up for a domain, no matter where, obviously avoid GoDaddy, but even with Namecheap, if you sign up for the domain name, they'll try to sell you hosting as well. Generally speaking, do not get web hosting from a domain registration service. They are specialized in domain registrations. They are usually not specialized in hosting. So some of them sell you their own hosting on top. They're trying to. Some others try to recommend other hosting providers, which is okay, right? I mean, they're trying to make a buck there. And again, others totally stay out of the picture and just give domains and that's it. But most of them nowadays, they try to sell you other services as well. Stuff like secure domains, like where or private registration where your name and information is hidden, which I wouldn't recommend if you really want to build a real business, because hey, if you're building a legitimate business online, why do you need to hide? I don't think that's it makes sense. It gives a bad picture to I think your customers actually. So I would keep your information about who owns the domain always public. And that way, you play with open cards, right? You can be reached if you want, if you need to be reached. And I prefer that definitely from the private registration where they put some anonymous data in there that they can contact. They forward that stuff to you if they need to, but you kind of stay hidden. And I don't think that's a good business practice in general if you want to do business online. I mean, to earn the trust of those people that might purchase our products and services. And how can you earn the trust if you're hiding? I mean, it's no point, right? So anyway, so avoid those packages and the deals where they give you domains plus hosting usually. Like I said, GDI is one of those that does it actually. Been fine with them, but to be honest, I got them my morphoU.ws from them. But I always use my own domain hosting because at that time when I got them, I already had dedicated servers. So I just got the domain from them and put it on my own hosting package. I never used their hosting, even though they do provide it as well as part of their membership. But anyway, so avoid that and go with your own domain, own hosting. So now where can you go for hosting? I mean, if you're starting just out and you want to get, see what happens, you could go as simple as getting a $7 lifetime hosting, with ViralHost.com. That's one of our sites actually. And that's for starting out. If you don't get much traffic, no problem at all. Obviously, if you want to get more done, maybe install scripts on there, you need a higher package there. And same with other web hosting accounts. Depending on what you want to do, you might need a very small, shared hosting account or a bigger one, right? I mean, otherwise, if you want to go with a little step bigger from ViralHost, what I would recommend is the one that we are using, and I'll just put again my link in here. So basically, that's the web hosting system that powers our sites, and that's over at Web Hosting Secret. Again, affiliate link, disclaimer, goes over to OKTech, the company that is providing the hosting. And again, they have shared hosting and they're dedicated hosting. No matter where you go to, right, for your web hosting needs. Yes, you want to shop around for price, but you also want to make sure that the service is good. The service of these guys is excellent. I can really recommend them that way. Now, if you go somewhere else, just make sure also that if you start small with a shared web hosting account because you're brand new, because you don't know how much traffic you're going to get yet, right? You don't want to overspend yet on anything, that you don't need yet. You don't want to, have this big Porsche in the garage if all you do is work from home, right? You don't need that. But the bicycle will do. But so if you get that, make sure that they allow you to later upgrade your hosting. Talk with them before you sign up. Say, hey, I want to start now with a shared web hosting account. I might later on need more power. Is it easy to upgrade with you guys from shared to VPS, Viral Private Server, or to dedicated even? Do you offer VPS and dedicated? That kind of thing. So you want to check with them first. So OKTech does, or Web Hosting Secret. .com. That's the one, not an S at the end, I believe. You actually click on that. I'm not quite sure if I did that. Did I spell that right? I think I did. Yeah, that's the right link. So just double checking here. If you go there, just check these things. Again, with webhostingsekret.com, with OKTech, they do that. No worries there. But if you go with another web host of your choice, or even if you're already with a web host where you have already a website, maybe you want to check into these things before you use them further. Now, again, web hosting costs, as I said, $5 up to what, $20 somewhere for shared. Probably around the $10 range nowadays is okay, pretty much 10 or up. If you go dedicated or VPS, can go like $30, $40, $50 a month or more for VPS. Dedicated, 100 and more. I have a server that I pay like $500 a month for. That's like a monster server, a really fast one that we need for one of the servers that we're providing. But there are other servers like $200 a month, $250. I think the average nowadays is like $250 roughly, around that range. For something good, $250 I think is for a dedicated server there. But obviously you don't want to get a dedicated server yet if you don't make $250 a month yet, right? Makes sense. That's something you upgrade to later on as you get to the point. Like maybe you have an existing business that makes money already. This gets a little bit slow. Then you want to maybe upgrade to a bigger dedicated server. Also, by the way, another thing that's good to know about web hosts is maybe ask them, will they upgrade your servers free of charge in the future as this technology moves on, like 3 years down the track maybe? Your server is outdated, your dedicated server, and it's kind of like an old one compared to what's out on the market at that time, right? So will they upgrade your servers and then not charge you for that? I've heard stories where basically they come up to you and say, well, yeah, we can upgrade you. That costs you extra this much. And then the new server is going to be better, so we charge you more monthly. Wrong answer. If they give you that answer, stay away from that web host. OKTech again, they just upgraded all of our servers to the latest technology, no charge, no price increase, nothing. Hey, that's service. They took care of that. They just finished with the last server the other day, and we got them all now to the latest stand of technology. Nice and fast, 8-core servers, 16 gigs of RAM in there, SSD drives, for fast hard drive access and stuff. Awesome. And no extra charge. Hey, can't complain. So that's why I recommend them. I like them. By the way, the boss there, the guy who owns it is his name is Jamie. Say hello to Jamie if you talk to him. He's a nice guy. Really good to chat to him, by the way. By the way, for you guys of you who might be interested, where are they located? This is a Canadian-based company. So they're up in Canada. So from the location of the servers-wise, for all US traffic, ideal. It's right there, right next to the border. So that's web hosting, domain registration. Again, if you have a lot of domains, or if you see the potential of promoting this as a service, that's another thing with the Domain Cost Club, by the way. If you they have this 4x7 force matrix things, and if you're not familiar with this network marketing term set that they're having, it basically means that as you refer customers, the first 4 are directly in the downline. And by the way, those who personally refer, you earn on more anyway. But there's a part of the commission goes depending on what position they are in. Like in the level 1, if they're level 1, you earn, like, for example, for a $99 customer, you earn $25. If they pay $99 a month, a month. Oh, that would be terrible, a month. A year, if the customer pays $99 a year for their Domain Cost Club membership, then $25 goes to the personal referrer. By the way, I believe it's on no matter on which of the 7 levels on, you get at least $25 if you personally refer them. Now, if it's spillover, meaning somebody from your upline refer that, and I don't like that term spillover because it makes you. They use it kind of like to get those people that don't know how to promote in hopes that they get spillover. And usually it doesn't really happen with most companies that say, hey, you can get spillover, and they're promoted that way. So usually I don't like to even mention that stuff, but they have it in there too. So and the funny thing is, actually, the surprising thing for me was I actually received spillover from my upline. I got like 2 people spill over into my position. It was like, hey, another $10 on commission that I didn't do anything for. Per year. So why not? It doesn't hurt. But yeah, don't rely on that stuff. But it can happen because the way that they set it up with the force matrix. So the first 4 in your first level, and then the 5th one goes basically 1 level below that. So those 4 will benefit from the next, what's that, 16 or something that come in there, etc., etc. Sounds like a bad pyramid scheme. No, but it's just, in the end, it's just the structure it's built up. It's like a company, right? Boss on top, a few more bigger people, and at the bottom it's all the regular employees. It's a pyramid too, if you look at it that way. Anyway, but that's not even the point. But if you're into marketing stuff like this, and you can see the potential of marketing something like Domain Cost Club, that alone, I mean, hey, it's a again, no-brainer. But again, if you want to just go from the point of view of saving money on your domains, for the 99 annual one, you need at least 40 .coms. Obviously, if you go with the lifetime, and then even less than that will eventually break you even. But on the other hand, if the more domains you have, the quicker you save them, basically, and the more you save them. But yeah, next point. What's after that? You got domain registration, you got web hosting. Now, the next point will be, what are you going to do with that stuff, right? And what I do usually recommend is for everybody to start with, if you're just starting out, is put a blog on there. Because if you release content, if you want to build your mailing list, etc., having a blog with regular content where you push out content related to the topic area that you want to involve yourself in. And even if you want to offer a service on the topic of whatever, maybe you want to offer a graphic design service, let's say like this, you want to create banner graphics for others, you could talk about the do's and don'ts on banner creation. What works, what doesn't work, what you should use, maybe different. Talk about things that are related to your topic matter. Show them that they're an expert in the field, basically. And even if you're not yet the top expert that you believe, you're on the way to there, right? You share with them what you learned so far. So don't be afraid of sharing even this little bit if you only know this little bit yet. As you learn more, you share more, right? So doing blogging on here, therefore, just not just for building a list, but for attracting traffic from Google, like search engine traffic, etc., is a smart way to do. And even if you have already an existing website, you're selling something already, if you don't have a blog yet, get a blog. I really tell you. The other thing that I really often always recommend to do is, as you then build your mailing list, you mail out, you publish that information that you mail out also on your blog. That way, you recycle your content. Plus, you have another way of getting traffic in, and maybe making another referral, another sale, build another subscriber to your list, etc. So definitely put a blog out there, and make sure, of course, that you have on your blog somewhere in the sidebar or in a pop over or some hover over when they come there, a way to capture the name and email address. Offer them an ethical bribe, something that they like, that's related to your topic, that you can give away for free. But should be something good for sure. The better it is, the more likely they will, ask for it. Plus, then they see you again more as the expert in the field if you provide them with something really good. Whereas, crap. Sorry for the language. But provide them that, and then capture the name and email address, right? And then that goes into the next part of the essentials, which is building your own mailing list. I mean, it has been said, over and over and again, and this, the money is in the list, or the money is in the responsive list, the better version of it. But if you want to build a business long term, you definitely want to capture at least an email address of those visitors to your blogs, to your websites, to your, no matter if you're selling an ebook, a video or video course, software, or you have a membership site, and there it's kind of like almost automatic if you do a membership site. But or if you're offering your services on there, you want to have a way to capture the names, or at least the email addresses of those people visiting your website, and so you can follow up with them, because they might come one time. They have a saying, and I don't know how true the numbers are nowadays anymore, but that somebody needs like 7 exposures to you before they make a positive buying or a purchasing decision with whatever you have to offer. So if you have a website and you hope that they come 7 times, then good luck. But if you capture the name and email address, and that's a lot easier of a sale to get their email address, then you can follow up with them, and that way get those 7 exposures or whatever number it is, right? A lot easier that way, and make sure that you stay in front of them. Some will unsubscribe, some will stay, some will purchase, some will never purchase from you. Some will, some people will come to your website and never sign up even for a newsletter, right? Or, well, newsletter nowadays is not really the thing anymore, but for your ethical bribe, right? But yeah, I mean, so what? That's a kind of a numbers thing online. Like every business, if you have your retail business out there in a store, not everybody that comes into your store and walks through the aisles will purchase something. Some will, some won't. So what next? Kind of we move on. So that's a normal thing. But if you can capture the information, then hey, by the way, even for a retail store, if you can capture the information of the person, like, hey, you want to not ready to buy yet? No problem. Would you like us to send you the latest special offers that we're having? Our special of the week. And then they say, yeah, sure. Here's my address. Send them there, or send me a text, or send me an email. Right? If you can capture some information about how to contact them again, it will benefit any business, no matter if it's an offline or online business. So yeah, definitely something that we want to do, because you could send them like an annual, like, hey, coupon, for a rebate for something. Like, hey, special offer. We have this book now. Usually we sell it for, I don't know, $9.97. Now you can get it for $7 only. Save $2.97, whatever, or $5 or something, whatever it is, right? If you want to get them onto your paid customers list. So that's the next thing to go there. Now, before we move on, let me just quickly take a look if there were any other questions in text chat. But it looks like we have only the initial ones there. That's okay, no problem. Again, like I said in that email originally, if you watch this live or the recording, doesn't matter, then I'm always interested to know what it is that I can help you answer. But by the way, let's go a step further. I would like to know something else from you guys. So if you're watching this live or recording, thank you for not being blurry, camera. So if you have something, or sorry, let me phrase this a little bit differently. What is it that you would like me to do for you in the future? Like, is there a service I could provide? Is there a service that I could improve? Where you say like, hey, Frank, you have this and this site, if you could change that, that would be awesome. Or if you could make that different, that would be awesome. Or if you could create or provide a service or product that helps you with A, B, C, whatever it is. What is it that I can do for you personally? Right? You're out there. You see that? I'm pointing at you. So what is it that I can do for you that would help you, make more money online, maybe, sell your product better, find an idea maybe to have a product, get your product created maybe, improved maybe, get more website visitors, convert them better, whatever it is, right? You name it. What is it that I can help you with? Let me know, and I'm really looking for your feedback there. Like, just put it in the text chat under the video or on the side or wherever you see them here, right? Any direction, right? There's some box somewhere where you can leave a comment, but probably not there. Probably either there or there. No, sorry. There. Inverted here, mirror image. So yeah, leave a comment there, and I really would appreciate a lot. Maybe it's not a question that you have, but something that you need. Like, hey, this is what I want. And even if it's something you think maybe it's silly to ask for that, just ask for it anyway. Don't worry about it. Just go for it. Now, okay, let's now move to those questions that I got here before we started even the marketing meetup, and see how I can help with that. First one from somebody anonymous was, what is the next step? And he moves this big smiley face on it. So I'm like, I guess you're kidding me, right? The next step. What is the next step? Well, the next step for you depends really on where you are right now, obviously, right? If you don't even have a domain name yet, and no web hosting, you don't have an own site, no domain name, nothing, you're starting from scratch. First, make up your mind what domain name you want to get. What is it that you want to get? And again, to help you out, if your name is John Smith, maybe you should get johnsmith.com, probably taken. But, just an example, right? Whatever your name is, .com. Hey, maybe the one version is gone. You have a middle initial? Put the middle initial in there as well. Or how about maybe Smith is gone, but John S is there, John S, like a abbreviated version of your name, another possibility. or maybe a combination with another word like johnsmithinforms.com or John Smith answers, or John Smith's it's something with the topic area that you're covering, like a keyword in there. So many options, right? And then get the domain. And again, like I said, if you want to save yourself some bucks, well, probably with the very first domain, you want to go with Namecheap, to be honest. Domain cost club. It makes sense if you have a few more domains than just a single one, unless you know how to promote and you want to promote it, etc. Right? But if it's your very first domain name, go with Namecheap.com. The one Frank lik.es/Namecheap, where N and the C are capitalized. Anyway, it's underneath there somewhere. Check out that. So go that one, get a domain registered, and don't forget to get the coupon code, right? So you get it for $9.66, but at least for the first year. You don't want to save money. And then, by the way, I posted. Totally forgot about that. I posted over at on my blog frankbauer.name a post on how to save. Even if you don't want to switch away to the domain cost club, if you want to stay with Namecheap, you're already with Namecheap, you want to save for them, kind of like do this. There's a technique that you can use that works offline really well with insurances and credit cards and stuff that you can also use with domain registration services. Domain name registration services do also react to that. So check out my blog post there on that topic on how to save on your domain costs. We'll give you an aha moment there as well. So check that one out. But okay, so domain name first, after you made up your domain, what it is. So either keywords in the topic area, or even what I recommend, your own name, or combination, right? .com if you can get it, and something else if you can't. If it really is all gone with the .com versions, then go for like a .name, for example, if it's your name, or like a .ws or something like that, or .info for blog fits also nice. So okay. Now, next one. What's the next step if you have already a domain name? Well, you need web hosting, right? Again, avoid the ones with the domain registration services. Usually not good. Many horror stories when I try to install scripts on those hosting accounts. They're not really good for these things. So what I recommend you go with is www.webhostingsecret.com, or if you really simply want to start, www.viralhosts.com, $7 lifetime account, for example. A starting point. Now, what's next? Next step. What's the next step? So you got domain name, you got the hosting. Now you want to put on your blog on there. Again, if you have a good hosting account, and by the way, the $7 lifetime is not enough for putting a WordPress blog on. So you need the next upgrade on that one, ViralHost. So probably go directly to webhostingsecret.com and get one of their $10, $15 shared hosting accounts monthly. But then you have the ability to install scripts, WordPress, and you have your cPanel, and you can simply, with a couple of clicks, install a WordPress blog on there. Really simple. By the way, if you're technically challenged, and that's no shame, no problem at all. We all are in some parts. Like I can't fix my car. Technically challenged in that direction. But if you are, and you're like, oh my God, setting up a blog, or doing all this tech stuff. Oh. Go to Fiverr.com, F-I-V. Let me just actually spell it out. Is it W-V? Quick check. F-I-V-V-E-R, because I always get it wrong. Oh, I think that's double R. That's the one. Let me check. Is that the right one? That is not the one. But better check first. Here we go. Yeah, that's the one. Let me just paste that into the chat also for you. And that's spelled Fiverr.com. I'll put it in the chat as well. So if you need little things done and installing a WordPress blog, by the way, Fiverr.com known for outsourcing stuff, little things for $5 a piece. They also have more expensive things in there, but usually everything starts at like $5 there. And so if you have something like I don't want to touch cPanel stuff and install a WordPress blog, go there, say look for somebody installing a WordPress blog. $5 done. Give them your login details, and then they take care of it for you. Just remember to change your password after you gave somebody your password, right? Let them do it, and then afterwards you change your login password. So keep it secure. Yeah, and then you get your WordPress blog done. So that's the step after you have your hosting, right? You get your domain, you get your hosting, and now you get your WordPress blog. Either you install it yourself, not that difficult, believe me. Just give it a try first, and especially if you have cPanel, no big deal. And like Fantastico is one of the things that's in cPanel that does that. There's also some others like script installation things, something in cPanel that you can use for WordPress. Now, once you have your blog on there, your WordPress blog on there, right? Then you want to look for design. Get a nice template that fits your needs, so that it looks nice. And you probably don't want to keep the default WordPress ones that are in there. And if you just Google simply for WordPress template or free WordPress template, you find a ton out there. And it's pretty simple to exchange those templates in WordPress, to make it look custom the way you want it to look like, right? So that's the next thing. And then you start basically putting the next step. Then after that is putting the content on there. And you want to be regular. That's another thing. You want to define regular for yourself. Is regular for yourself one post a month? Probably the very minimum. One a week, one a day, up to you. Multiple a day, multiple a week. You choose. Whatever you can do, and you are willing to commit in time to put content out there. Obviously, the more, the better. While the more quality content, the better. Let's say it that way. If it's crap, again, that word, then it doesn't help you much. But commit on a regular schedule. And I'm like probably some people are saying, Frank, but you don't put regular content on your blog. I'm like, yeah, sorry, busy with running my business otherwise to get the content out. And again, as I said, writing is not my top skill, to be honest. But if you can do it. Put the regular. Do as I say, don't as I do, not as I do. So put your content out there and share it with others. So that's the step after that. And then, one more step. Don't forget to have some way of capturing the name and email address, or at least the email address on your blog. And then if you don't know how to do that, you need obviously, you either need to build your list. You need either like an autoresponder account with an autoresponder service provider, thinking of services like GetResponse, Aweber, etc. Personally, by the way, I would recommend GetResponse, not Aweber. I had some bad experience with Aweber in the past. Doesn't mean that they're actually bad, but I had a bad experience with them. And the one that I recommend if you're using service provider, it's this one. Is GetResponse. So if you're looking for a service provider that is good, that I use now for multiple years already, then get an account of GetResponse. Again, that's roughly about $20 a month that you're looking at, and doesn't get really cheaper than that with service provider. I mean, there are some others that are cheaper, but then their deliverability rates are also pretty crap. Sorry. So that's a good service provider where you can make sure that the emails also get through, that has good features and everything built in. And where you don't have to worry about the emails being sent out, you don't have to monitor to make sure that you stay whitelisted. And so. But if you, they send it out for you, so you don't get any trouble for somebody complaining about spam, for example, which happens even if they subscribe to your list, and they forget every now and then. And a good service provider knows that, and they just take them off the occasional one, they unsubscribe them and done with. Now, the other option is, if you want to get a cheaper lifetime option, is to have autoresponder script, a software program basically that's installed on your own web hosting account. Again, if you do that, you probably need a bit more advanced web hosting account. At least a really good shared web hosting account is a minimum when you're starting out. Later on, you probably want to upgrade that to a VPS or a dedicated server as your list grows in size, right? I mean, if you have 100,000 lists, you don't want to mail from a shared web hosting account. Even if you have like a 20,000 list, you probably want to move slowly on to something more reliable and something faster and something, that's your own, which is like a VPS or shared or a dedicated server at that point. Now, I'm actually been working the last couple of days on, and I'm not quite ready yet to release it. I'm working on AdTheRate Mail Responder Pro version 2.0. And it has a complete new design. It looks a lot more fresh than the old version. And if you want to look at the old demo version, yeah, it looks ugly. Now, the new one is colorful, nicer. And it also has a couple of features built in that I was missing really. And some of them I'm still working on. For example, be able to track, when has a subscriber last opened an email, or when has he last clicked on a link in an email. And that part is not yet 100% implemented. I'm still working on that for the 2.0 release. I have it now in there that it tracks the last open already. If you send HTML, by the way, it's a requirement to track opens, HTML emails. And also updated it finally to have a better, what you see is what you see is what you get editor built in there. The old one was really not good anymore. In the old version, in the 1.x version of Responder Pro, it had to really be replaced. And that has been done now in the 2.0 version. I'm personally using the version already, but it's not 100% yet ready for me to release it, but it will happen soon. Now, so that's another option to get a script. And Responder Pro used to sell, or still sells, for $97 one time for lifetime. So basically you get one license, you install it on your domain, and you can use it for all the different, you install it on one domain, the license is good for one domain, and then you can use it from forms from wherever. If you have 100 domains, you can put the form on 100 domains. If you want to, it all feeds back into your one autoresponder system that you have. Better anyway. That way you keep everything in central location. Another thing that I built in there finally that was really, really overdue and needed was the ability to tick multiple or choose multiple lists at once, and it sends out only one email per unique person on there. So instead of like having 10 lists and then mailing out with list 1 first and then list 2 and list 3, and then you have overlap and they get multiple emails, those people that are on multiple lists of yours, now you can pick them all at once, and it sends only one email per person. Another thing that has been built in there finally is to the ability when they unsubscribe. There used to be one-click unsubscribe done, which is, I guess, nice to unsubscribe, but not as nice if you want to avoid people by mistake clicking, for example, on the unsubscribe link. So now it is they click on the unsubscribe link, they come to a page, they're asked to confirm first, and all they need to do is to click on the link, yes, confirm, done. Now, the next step then after that is that it shows them then, okay, we removed you from this list. Oh, by the way, you're also still on list B, C, and D. Want to unsubscribe there, and then they just click on which ones they want to unsubscribe from. That one, you avoid spam complaints that way. It's just better that way to offer them and tell them, what other lists they might be on. And the big autoresponder services do that already. And it was something that was due and had to get into Responder Pro as well. And by the way, if you want to look at that, again, actually, I highly recommend not to buy it now because I'm planning, secret, I'm planning to lower the price on that with the 2.0 release. Surprise! And did I put that in right? Yeah, Responder Pro, there it is. So it's at mailresponderpro.com, basically. If you want to check it out now, but don't buy it now. It's now right now 97 plus $20 for the installation, I believe. I want to lower the price on the script itself and make it even more affordable for you guys for the 2.0 release. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, so keep that in mind. If you want to save on the long term, you might want to do that. Have your own script installed instead of paying a service provider every single month. Again, the only downside that there is if your own script is that if you get spam complaints, they usually a web host. If you have a good web host like OKTech, or postingsecret.com, then they'll simply forward them to you for you to take care of. Like say, hey, this guy complained, please unsubscribe him, and you're like, yeah, sure, unsubscribe, done. But the other thing that can happen if you are sending out to a bad list, and that can happen if your own disclaimer. If you have your own script installed, usually you have all the possibilities you want. There's no double opt-in requirement. You can import lists as you want to. So if you want to switch from a service to like a script, super easy. You get the export list from your service provider, import in your script. They're right away in. There's no need for them to confirm again, like those service providers always require you to do. If you want to import with them, they require you to let them double opt-in again, which is basically loses you 90% of your list at that point. But with a script on your own side, you can just import them. Now, with great power comes great responsibility, of course, like they used to say in Spider-Man, right? So if you import a crappy list, something, an unclean list, an old list that you haven't mailed in ages, and then you start mailing it, you might get a bunch of spam complaints right away off the bat. Now, if that happens, you might also end up getting your IP, the IP that you're mailing from, blacklisted in certain sites out there. Now, what you can do, obviously, is you can check for those. By the way, I don't have the links on me, but if you go over to my resource .es, and I type that in because it's spelled interestingly. Sources, that's the one. If you go over to that site, on that site there's like all kind of cool stuff, services, free, paid, whatever, that I recommend. A lot of free stuff actually also that I use on a daily basis, and check it out. There are some services on there that checking on blacklists. Search for blacklist, or for yeah, I think blacklist is the term that you're looking for when you go there. Yeah, blacklist. Enter that one, or spam or whatever. Enter those terms and see what comes up. The different sites that I recommend. There's some checking service. So if you have your own script installed, what you want to do is every now and then just simply check if your site is listed on one of the sites, and then just simply fill out the forms and request to be removed from the blacklist again. As simple as that. Obviously avoidable if you don't send out spammy stuff to start with, or old chunky lists. But if you build your list from scratch, for example, you should be fine. But still, then every now and then check on there. Who knows? There might be some really bad mood person that just goes the extra mile to make sure that he gets you blacklisted. Always happen, or can always happen. Doesn't always happen, but can always happen. So always have an eye open for that. And by the way, with what we do, I have dedicated service with OKTech, right? So what they do for us, they call it Nagios, Nagios. The Nagios monitor our sites, and one of the things that they do is they monitor blacklists for us. And I see in my Nagios interface that they provide me with, which of my IPs ends up on the blacklist, and then I can take action on there. So it's pretty simple that way. They monitor for me basically. So that's another thing to keep in mind. If you go that own route of their own autoresponder service, autoresponder script, not service, that you use on your own site, that way is another way you can save a lot of money on the long run. And I personally use my own scripts. I do that. I also use GetResponse. I kind of like, the theory about not putting all your eggs in one basket, right? I used to have Aweber, again, trouble with them, stopped using them. And if you want to know more, check for Aweber, and on my blog, do a search for Aweber, Aweber on my frankbauer.name blog, and you'll see what happened. So GetResponse I use and as one kind of like way of saving, and then I have actually my script, I have it on multiple domains, and I personally even use like a $10,000 script just mail out with, so you don't have to go that route. That's probably for the more advanced business, called Green Arrow. I'm using a Green Arrow system to mail out with, which allows me to not just mail from a single IP, but spread out over 16 IPs in my particular case, and basically more professional mail service, like kind of like what the GetResponses or the Awebers or the Indica Mail or whatever that's called, the kind of service that they would use, more advanced, versus like a single domain sending out emails all the time from a single IP, right? And the service with Green Arrow, for example, takes care of things like not mailing too much to a particular ISP. For example, AOL or Hotmail or Yahoo, they might have certain different limits, how many emails they like to receive from one sender within a certain time frame before they start becoming like, too much. So that helps with that kind of stuff there. Again, if you're starting out, you have a relatively small list, you don't have to worry about the things. That's just something for later on as you get a bigger list. We're mailing out to several 100,000 from our, ViralURL and ViralHost and ViralInbox services, and especially ViralHost and ViralURL and ViralURL, the German version. So we're sending out a lot of emails from there. So we needed it for that purpose to increase our deliverability rates and avoid trouble, right? So that's something you want to keep in mind. So that's the steps. And that was a long-winded answer, I know, but let's get to the next question quickly. Hope it helped. By the way, let me know if these things help you. Put a feedback in there, just if there was something in here that helped you. And again, remember, we also want to know what else I can help you with, right? Questions you have, but also what services I can provide, what products I could provide that you're looking for, what things, like traffic, information on a certain topic, or also what I could provide, improve. Like maybe you're a member of one of our existing sites, like ViralURL or ViralHost or ViralInbox or ViralPLR or Jolo, for example. One of those sites, and you want to, you have some improvement suggestion or something that we really would make it better, that you're missing out, you think you're missing, that you want to have in the site, leave a feedback, leave a comment, put it down here, or there in the field, wherever you find the comment fields here, and let me know. Really looking forward to those. Now, the next question here is from Donald XI or XL. I don't. Donald asks, how do I monetize Amazon products? So the way I understand the question is that you have some product on Amazon, and I'm assuming on, I suppose maybe Amazon Kindle market, right? Like a digital product that you're selling there. Or maybe you have a physical product in Amazon, like a book or something else, and you're wondering, how do I monetize those products? Number one, obviously, you want to get more sales, right, in those sites. So number one thing is to not only hope and wait that Amazon sells the product for you, but actually go out and actively promote those products in Amazon. Drive traffic to your listing in Amazon. And you could get yourself an affiliate link with Amazon and then use your affiliate link to promote your own Amazon product, right? Why would you want to do that? Why not just hope on this millions of traffic that they get and visitors that they get every day, right? The thing is, Amazon actually looks into what sells, and they drive their traffic into more to those products that sell more. So in their listings, if they have two products that are similar, let's say in topic area covered or in service provided, then they will list the one that gets more sales first because they want to make more sales, obviously, right? So they're going to put them higher than your product that gets less sales. So in order to beat somebody else and get higher positioned in the search results, when somebody searches for something on Amazon and they're not just looking for your name or your product title, but they're looking maybe for something generic, like how can I do this, how can I do that, whatever. And then your product just happens to fit for that. Obviously, to get listed higher, you want to have those terms in either in your product title or in the description, just to be listed higher, or in the keywords, so you can get show up for those phrases. But then also, if you drive your own traffic there and increase the sales, you actually get ranked higher over time as well. So even for you with Amazon products, get your blog, talk about the products, talk about the topics covered in your Amazon products, and then put a blog post up there and link your blog post back to your Amazon product with your Amazon affiliate link, right? So not only can you get a commission then from selling your own product, but you also get your royalties from Amazon, and you that way monetize your product better on Amazon. Now the next thing is something that we did, and I don't have the links on me, sorry about that, but if you go over to Amazon.com and search for my name, Frank Bauer, for example, you'll find a count of ways. This might actually make it dangerous because there's a bunch of other Frank Bauers also in the world. Pretty common name. But yeah, look for Frank Bauer or Aurelius Chin. He co-authored that, and he's spelled, just so you know how it's spelled, Aurelius Chin. His name is very rare, so you find it more likely if you look for his name in there. It's spelled Aurelius, A-U-R. Let me see, I think the former Roman, one of the Caesars that they had there, Aurelius, A-U-R-E-L-I-U-S, and his last name is Chin, T-J-I-N. So either look for my name, Frank Bauer, or for his name in Amazon, and then you find the two products. And the way what we did to monetize our products, number one is we put in two products at a time in the Kindle market, in this case, ebook products. And basically, it's rebranded versions of ViralURL products that we put in there. So we have two of the ViralURL products we put in so far only. We tested that, and we rebranded it, put new covers, new titles, and product itself is the same, but the cover and title is different. So to stand, to be different from the ViralURL products, stand out. And we put them in there. And number one thing is on the page one, we added, or on one of the first pages, like after the cover title, we added like a bonus on each of them. So we said, hey, if you get this as a bonus, why don't you grab that ebook? And that's another ebook that we provide through ViralURL, where we basically send them over to our affiliate link for that particular bonus product, where we give it away for free. And so we capture the name and email address that way. We get them from Amazon into our mailing list that way. So we offer a bonus, a free bonus for those that purchased one of our products through Amazon.com. And when they buy that product, there's an OTO upsell that as an ViralURL affiliate would earn us a commission. So we monetize more. So they bought one product, and then we give them something else for free as a bonus, and then offer them something else for sale on top of that. monetize more on those leads. And then obviously, since we have them on the mailing list, we can mail them again and monetize in the future on other products or services, right? So I would advise the same thing. If you have an Amazon.com product or multiple Amazon.com products, see how you can offer or give them a free bonus, where you then, when they claim that free bonus, offer them an upsell, something for sale again. So that way you build your mailing lists through that and also monetize more. And you could do that simply with picking one of the ViralURL ebooks into that, completely done for you that way. There's no hosting you have to do. There's no domain name you need to get. There is no installation or tech stuff. It's all done for you that way. I mean, that's one option that you could do. Or you have, of course, can create your own, have your own products and services and, have an ethical bribe, basically the bonus, and then an upsell for something, another sold product after that. And we do that with both products, by the way, crossed, kind of like, if they buy one product, we give the free bonus of the ViralURL version of the other product. So it's cross-promoted, basically, those two with each other. So yeah, that's another thing that you can do to monetize them more with your Amazon products. I hope that gave you some kind of a hint where to get started. Let me know what you think. Again, looking for feedback also from everybody else out here. And there's one more question, I believe. Yeah, there's from Cars Biz. He asked, getting traffic for the business. He's an upgraded member of one of the sites, but he doesn't see yet how to build his own list and how he can build his own list. So I'm not sure yet which site of mine he's upgraded with, but that's okay. So let's see. Let's assume ViralURL, ViralPR, it doesn't really matter which one, right? So he's an upgraded member in one of our sites, and he needs to get traffic for his business. So that's his question: how to get more traffic for his business that he's trying to promote. And he's upgraded already, and he doesn't know how to build his list. Okay, cool. So part one first: how to get traffic. With pretty much all of our sites now, there are traffic generation methods built in there. If you're a member of ViralURL, you can send out to random ViralURL members, for example, as an upgraded ViralURL member. As a free member, you can only mail out to your downline that you built in ViralURL, so that's not really that helpful in increasing your list size, right? Obviously. But if you're an upgraded member, even if you're just a $7 mailer, like $7 a month upgraded member, you can start mailing out and send those people to a squeeze page, to a page where you offer them an ethical bribe in exchange for their name or an email address, or just email address, right? And you build your list that way. So you start mailing regularly content, well, a promotion where you offer something, an ethical bribe, basically. So to claim it, you go here and then put your link in, and that link sends them to a name capture page or a squeeze page, where you then ask for their email address or name and email address. And get them that way on the list. So that's how you build your list, by the way. That works with ViralURL, upgraded membership, either $7 mailer or gold or higher, starting at $7 a month, basically. That works with Viral Hosts, again, upgraded membership, gold or higher. That works with Viral Inbox, and I believe in Viral Inbox it even works from the get-go. Even with a free membership, you can earn yourself mailing credits by reading other people's mails in the reward box, and then mail out to other members, etc. So that works. Viral Inbox, for example, it works starting from the free membership already. So you can then mail to other members, and then that way build your mailing list, and that way get traffic. And I recommend always how do you get traffic for your business? Get it first to a squeeze, to some kind of way where you capture the name and email address, or just the email address. And that's if you're promoting your own product. If you want to send them to a sales page first that maybe has an exit offer, where it asks for the email, hey, wait, before you go, give me your name and email address, and I give you this and this and this, like an ethical bribe in exchange, that will work, right? Or just directly to a page where it's just all about that bonus, that all about that ethical bribe that they get for giving you their email address. Now, with Viral Inbox, again, for free onwards, ViralPLR, we just added that option in there, by the way. ViralPLR, and we haven't really publicly announced that yet. It's on the sales page and stuff, and we build it in ViralURL actually has now the way that even free members can mail out to a minimum of 50 random members every 3 days. That's not that much, right? But it's for free and it's a starting point. And then obviously paid members have a more mailing ability. And also with ViralURL, by the way, we build it now in that we basically double your list building efforts, even as a free member, triple or quadruple it for upgraded members. So check it out if that's something you want to do. That's another way of, ViralURL.com is another one where you can now actually build traffic and build your mailing list and start building your own list that way. Again, you want to send them something, talk about something that they would be possibly interested in, and send them over to your name capture page where they then leave their email address to get that ethical bribe, basically. That's the best way to using all this mailing service anyway. You want to get them first on your own personal list. And that personal list could be, again, like I said, with GetResponse. It could be your own installed autoresponder, like, at Mail Pro. Again, wait for the 2.0 update, make it cheaper before you get it. Or, or just tell me and I give you a partial refund afterwards. That's also fine. I can do that too. Probably better wait until the price is low. It's simpler. So that's the way to go about it. And then, so again, I don't know which site you're a member of, but depending on each of the sites, if you are in ViralURL or ViralHost, you want to upgrade, ViralURL at least to the $7 mailer or gold membership or higher, and ViralHost also gold membership or higher to be able to build your own list, get more traffic. And then there's some traffic methods built in there, but usually as a free member, those two sites, it's very limited. Usually upgraded membership is what gets you the real kick, where you get a lot more traffic and the ability to build your mailing list that way. Now with ViralInbox and ViralURL, again, those you can start for free onwards, free or higher. Obviously, again, upgraded memberships, more traffic, more list building possibilities, but you can start as a free member and get traffic that way and build your list that way. Okay, that was the last question I see here. Let me just scroll down to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Looks like, and quick shout out, by the way, to the people that are watching right now, like Dicky, hello. I hope I pronounced that right, Dick Lin. My German, I blame it on my German accent if I pronounce that wrong. And then there's, I don't know how to pronounce it. OWDOAC, ODAC, maybe? I hope I got that right. I hope I didn't butcher your name too much. And I see ODAC is in ViralURL. Well, glad to have you on here. Please, guys, remember to leave me your questions and feedback after the call or now during it. And if you watch the recording, also please. And Nikki's also ViralURL. Okay, so two ViralURL members right now watching here. Great to see you guys here. Oh, and Karsbis just answered he is an upgraded gold member in ViralURL. Oh, PRL. Well, PLR he meant. Yeah, great. So as a gold member there, what we built just in there is now you can send out to at least 500 random members every single day from the broadcast mailer section. So if you're logged into your ViralURL account, you go to the broadcast mailer, and you can send to a minimum of 500 random members of ViralURL every single day. Plus, if you're starting to build your ViralURL downline, you can not only email to each member that you refer to ViralURL, but then also we give you another three. We give you another 3 random members for every person that you personally refer to ViralURL. So if you refer, for example, 10 new members to ViralURL, and they can be free members, right? They don't have to upgrade or pay for anything. If you refer to 10 new paid free members or paid members or whatever, then you get, for example, another 30 every day. So instead of 500, you have 530. Plus the 10 that you originally made. Actually, you can mail 540 at that point out every single day. So it grows basically over time, your ability to mail. And then you use it to send them either to, again, like a name capture type, it's like a bribe. And if you're a ViralURL member, you might as well, you could send them to one of the ViralURL products that that they haven't yet gotten, right? The thing is, you're promoting to other ViralURL members, yes, but you could, if they don't have that particular product that you're recommending to them, they can get into your downline and your mailing downline in ViralURL as well. Plus, with the gold upgrade, you have the ability in ViralURL to get them onto your like GetResponse, Autoresponder Pro, or whatever it is, or Aweber autoresponder as well. So you build your own mailing list that well. So even though you're promoting to other ViralURL members, you can build your mailing list that way in GetResponse, Aweber, whatever, with your upgraded Gold membership with ViralURL. So it still makes sense. Obviously, it would be even better if you offer them something, an ethical bribe that's not yet in ViralURL, because then those people that already might have that particular ebook that you're recommending that's part of ViralURL wouldn't be interested in it, right? But if you offer them something that's not even in ViralURL at all, your own ethical bribe for your own business, right? That would be even better, of course, because then you can send them straight to your own name capture page, and then that way build your list even further. And the thing is, you can always then mail them afterwards and then recommend another ViralURL product to them and get them also in ViralURL, and that way grow your list bigger again. So it's like a back and forth, it starts to leverage more and more, as you grow bigger with ViralURL. So yeah, so if you're in ViralURL there, Gold membership, good way of starting it. You can mail at least 500 members every single day. So that's a good start. That's what I would recommend, to use the broadcast mailer, use it every single day. And, regularly send your mailing out. Takes just a few minutes. And the good thing is in there, you can always see the last messages sent out. So yeah, by the way, I see another question coming in from Carbiz here. He says, I'm a Gold member, but I cannot use the Silver product. No, you can also promote any product where you just have Silver rights to it. It's just the difference there is simply that, good question. What's the difference? I just lost my train of thought there. There is a difference with that. Let me try to remember what it was. If you promote a Silver product, I believe you have, I'm not sure if you're right, you don't build your own mailing list on those, right? So it builds your ViralURL downline, and that way your mailing ability within ViralURL, but it doesn't build your GetResponse or Responder. Plus, believe the commissions are lower on those Silver products if you recommend Silver products. You can upgrade, by the way, any Silver product that you have access to in the ViralURL members area to Gold product if you want to. But basically, you get Gold products to, you have access to Gold access to only to those products that you gained, were added to your account since you upgraded to Gold. And the older ones are still Silver. But you can promote both. I mean, you can use both. It's just different benefits you get for the Silver products and for the Gold products. So if you want to compare that, and sorry for not having that in my head right now, right away here, it's simply, if you log into your ViralURL account and go into the upgrade section, there's a compare membership section, a compare membership button there. If you click on that, it gives you more details, what the difference is for the different products, and that explains it better. Sorry for not being able to do this right now here on the call live. But yeah, you can promote Silver and Gold products as a Gold member. That's fine. You can do that in both cases. Okay, if there are no other questions here right now, I think that would conclude our marketing meetup for October 7th. Let me just have a quick look when it's going to be the next one. I love it when the calendar opens like that and I cannot read it. Let me click here. So the next marketing meetup will be on November the 4th. November 4th, 2014 will be the next marketing meetup. And again, I would really appreciate if you leave any kind of feedback, what you liked in here, maybe something that gave you an aha moment. Also, what you like to see maybe in the future, what I've been missing out. Just put a comment in there. And you're very welcome, Carbiz. By the way, if you want to have personal question and you have something more specifically to any of our products with ViralURL, for example, or ViralURL, I'd like to invite you over to our help desk at any time. That's over at reply2frank.com. If you have any particular question with ViralHost or ViralInbox, that's at reply2colin, COLIN.com. Or if you have any particular questions with Jolo, simply don't remember the help desk there. I think it's support.jolo.com. That's the one. Now I remember. That's where you can get support with Jolo specific things. So I invite you to come there anytime if you have anything account specific that you want to discuss that you don't want to discuss here in public. You're welcome to come there at any time and then ask questions, any questions you have. Again, yeah, this concludes this call, and I'd like to again remind you to Leave your feedback about what you liked, what you didn't, maybe even what you didn't like. Let me know. Or you stumbled too much, or you didn't know the answer to that question. That wasn't good. Feedback, any feedback is good. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And also, if you have questions, something that you like to see, like to know, maybe even if something very specific. Yeah, I have a website here and here, and it's not converting. What am I doing wrong? You can check it out, or whatever it is, right? Let me know. And then, of course, remember that one. Is there something specific I can do that I can either improve with my existing products and services, or that I can provide newly that I'm not doing yet? What is it that I could provide you with? What's the number one thing you'd like me to see me doing or providing for you personally in the future? Let me know that. Put in a comment again down here or over there, wherever you see the chat. And I would appreciate that a lot. Okay. Now we're already at the hour 30 mark already. Whoa, we went a little bit over today. So let's call this a day. And again, thank you everybody for being on here, for you live, but also for you guys watching the recording. And have an awesome day.
Thanks for meeting us in today's session. Share it with your friends. And join us again for the next Marketing Meetup on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
See you soon.